Hi everyone, my name is Madalina and we are back from our DevLive interview corner here at the DevTalks 2024 at Romexpo Bucharest. This is our second day of events and I'm very happy to be here with Adrian from METRO.digital. Hi Adrian, welcome. Thank you for accepting to stay to spend these 5 minutes with us today. I prepared a few questions for you for our small interview, but first I would like to ask you to introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about what you do at METRO.digital.
Yeah. First things first. METRO.digital is the technology arm of the METRO Group. METRO Group is an international global wholesaler with a global presence of 30 plus countries. Europe and Asia is the main focus. Company with over 30 billion revenue yearly. And what METRO.digital does for METRO Group, it's actually building and maintaining, developing all the infrastructure, technical infrastructure, software products, hardware for this entire network of commerce, online and offline. So we are moving into a multi-channel commerce model, wholesale, mainly food, which brings additional complexities because obviously when it's one thing to sell potatoes and yogurts, another thing to sell TVs and the laptops. So all that complexity we need to integrate into the systems that we are building in order to make sure that we deliver the best quality products to our customers, to our Horeca and trader customers, which are our main target customers. And that's what we do in METRO.digital. We have a footprint of in 3 countries actually, in Germany, Romania, and Vietnam. We are a team of 1,000 people roundabout in METRO.digital, and all of these people work for about 150 business solutions that enable the whole thing that I just mentioned on the entire business value chain of METRO. Me personally, I've been with METRO for a long time, for more than 15 years now. And I started as a software engineer, and now I reached this position of Chief Product Officer. And my main concern, my main objective in this role, it's actually to make sure that whatever we deliver, it's valuable, it's meaningful for the business and for the customer. And at the same time, it also scales in a reliable and efficient way. Yeah, because when you develop a product for a particular customer, for a target customer, for a small geography, let's say, it's one thing. When you have to deploy something globally in this landscape with all the challenges that we see in the world, cyber security is just one of them. Yeah, it brings a totally different dimension to what you need to do. Yeah, so in the end, this is what I'm doing. I'm overseeing this portfolio of solutions and doing my best every day with the teams around me to bring value and viability to our customers and to our users.
Thank you very much, Adrian. That sounds very impressive. But that means that I have the right person here for the first question that I have for you. And that is if you can tell us a little bit about the trends that you see in product development.
Well, yes, exactly. What I see is this trend in the entire world. And again, as usual, it starts from across the ocean. Yeah. In the US, we know that's the cradle of innovation and of setting up new trends. Silicon Valley and all the pure tech players that are out there. We see them in the top of the most valuable companies. Yeah. And what they are doing and how they are getting to this type of performances is actually by applying what we call a product operating model. This product operating model, it's a game changer, and we see in their results, so it's not hard to prove it. Yeah, has the centerpiece of it the outcome for the customer. What outcome translates into is actually changing customer and user behavior towards more benefits for him, for the customer, and also at the same time more benefits for the company delivering that service or that product. Yeah, so it's something that is shifting towards this paradigm in a world where, economic turmoil and uncertainty is well known. It's a hard fight for talent, and retaining people. It's not easy. But maybe even the more important one, it's the different expectations in the customers. With the pandemic, but not only, with the time evolving and technology evolving, we start taking things for granted and wanting more. So, classical players like Metro need to shift the gears and think about doing things in a different way to create new value. Yeah, it's not anymore, I think, about competing on a fixed market size, but it's actually adding new value to the market, so actually expanding the market. And this is what the product operating model can do. It's no longer the time for outputs. Outputs are just features, as we call them in tech world, that are shipped. And yeah, if they are used, if they are loved, if they are appreciated, if they are requested, needed, and so on, that was not really a question 15, 20 years ago, maybe when I started working in this field. But now it's more and more becoming the norm. Yeah, and this is actually the shift that I see. One important trend that we must shift from delivering outputs to delivering outcomes. Yeah, so that's the key trend that now comes as a wave, as a more or less a small tsunami, because it's increasing in intensity over the entire tech world in US. That's where it starts. Yeah, but it also flows throughout Europe, as I see these days.
Cool. Thank you, Adrian. How do we make sure that we stay or we are successful in products?
Data. I think more and more to understand if you are successful or not, you need to leverage the data. However, there is a challenge. The sheer amount of data that we collect these days makes it harder and harder to separate the real insight from the noise. It's so much noise that it's hard to get outside the gem that actually would inform your product strategy and your next problem that you would tackle in order to build something new, a new outcome for your customer. And what we do, for example, in METRO.digital, it's actually in the last 12 months, we developed in-house data platform for our products, for our digital products, where we actually consolidate with standard metrics, with standard measurements that are valid for all the teams in the company, this type of product data and insights. We look at it from a business perspective. Does it create a business impact? Do we see the KPIs on the business moving towards the target or not? Yeah. Do we see the correlation that our products have to that business metrics actually happening, or it's a pure disconnect there? We have to look at that. We look at the user experience. Yeah, we need to understand if our customers like to use our product, if it creates the benefit for them, and it's a lot that has to do with productivity on that scale. And in a wholesaler like Metro, it's not about big margins, but it's about efficiency. So we need to make sure that our experience to the people working for Metro, to the 90,000 people working for Metro, it's actually always improving and continuously improving. And of course, we look also at engineering metrics. So we use a standard framework, for example, for engineering metrics. It's called the DORA framework. And with those, we actually measure the delivery quality, speed, and how much frequency we have on deploying. And here I'm super proud to say, when I started in this company, that was, I don't know, more than 15 years ago, we're delivering every 6 months in releases. These days, we have an average of 3 deliveries per week. Yeah, on average, in all the teams. And we have teams that they deliver multiple times per day, even. Yeah, so it's actually amazing what happened as a transformation in the meantime. So that's how we stay ahead. We just have to look at the data. We have to confront the good and the bad, yeah, of what is happening, and if the response is the one that we are expecting, or we need to change something, and take action and implement new measures in the product strategy.
Cool. And what about cloud? Is everyone nowadays on cloud? Are there any learnings, any challenges with this, with the cloud?
Yeah, the cloud. The cloud is still a thing, but it starts to be less and less of a thing. It starts to become the norm. Again, looking back, maybe 7, 8 years ago in Metro, we are very much debating around the risk of privacy in the cloud, in the public cloud, and so on. We actually built our own cloud initially, and then we realized, hey, we are not cloud hyperscalers. It's hard for us to do so. So we moved to a hyperscaler. There are still a lot of traditional companies out there that are not towards the end of the journey. I'm happy to say that in Metro, we are actually moving towards the end of that journey. We started it a few years back, but it's huge amount of work. Yeah. So just talking about our data platform, our business data platform, it's over 180 terabytes of data that we had to move from on-prem to cloud to actually unleash the potential to look into the data and to steer the business performance, to understand how the business is doing, and to be able to deliver more insights. That journey took more than 12 months to achieve, with hundreds of people involved. So it's something massive that happens. Yeah, you are moving actually from an on-prem architecture with a given limitations, with the given services that you have around, to something that is behaving and designed in a complete different way. So it's a major shift that needs to happen, and more companies understand that. However, of course, I'm surprised how slow some of them are doing. But I'm happy to say that in Metro we managed to come closer to towards the end of that journey. And actually, by the end of this calendar year, we should be 90+% in the cloud. So we'll have just very small loads that would still be on prem, very soon to be decommissioned also, and then complete in the cloud. It's actually where we need to be.
Okay, thank you very much. I have one last question, though, and this is about Gen AI. How can large companies leverage it?
Gen AI is a hype, definitely, and I think last year was super, yeah, hectic. Let's call it like that around this topic. But what actually it's seen in the public, it's more the end consumer type of Gen AI things. Yeah, you know your Chat GPT, your Gemini, whatever. Yeah, these kind of bots that I guess a lot of people are using these days. Not all. Yeah, so there are still people that do not really understand or maybe are afraid to go in there and say something to the chatbot. But what I see this year, and actually even yesterday I had a meeting with a company showing me how they use Gen AI for very practical purposes. I think this year and in the next year, we will more and more understand how you use Gen AI in very concrete business use cases. So it's not just having a chatbot, but actually offering the possibility, for example, in our case, a supply planner. So somebody that has to look at a portfolio of, I don't know, thousands of articles and needs to understand how much of each one of that article he needs to order. And again, remember food, yeah, fresh food, meat, this kind of stuff. So it's pretty tricky to do that on such a large portfolio of articles for all the stores in Romania. Yeah, Metro has 30 stores in Romania, for example, and somebody is there looking at all that data and trying to figure out, okay, how much should I order for each and every individual store? That's something that is really hard for humans to do in a super reliable manner. And believe me, it's pretty expensive to keep the stock, the kind of stock that Metro has. So this needs to be optimized. And every percent, every 0.5% that we manage to optimize brings tremendous value on the bottom line of the company. Yeah, that's lower cost, that's more value for the customer. We can invest in the price margins, for example, we can invest in the services for the customers, we can create more value for them. Yeah, so this is how I see it going forward. That we will manage in the next couple of years to do it like that, and even more so probably, yeah, maybe even next year. Let's see. I see the rising of the AI native products, digital products that are actually built from scratch with an AI in the middle. I think this is something that will happen in a similar fashion as it happened with the mobile. Yeah, I mean, 15 years ago, it was in all conference I was seeing mobile native apps, mobile native products. That's not anymore a thing. It's commodity, and I imagine that this is also what will happen with the AI and Gen AI in this case.
Thank you so much for all your thoughts and insights, Adrian. That was my last question. So now we can go back and enjoy the event. Have a nice day.